Hey guys, it's me, Freddy Pop Collector. As you all know, a few days ago I did a video listing 20 useless FNAF facts. Today's going to be a part 2 of that video because there's actually a lot I wanted to put in that I just didn't have time or space to do so. So that's what today's going to be. Today's going to be a part 2 to that video. You can watch it after or before this video, it doesn't really matter, they're not really connected anyway, it's just listing some more facts that you probably didn't know about the FNAF games. Also guys, I'll be announcing the winner of the 5,000 subscriber giveaway, and I have a few announcements to make there as well, so stay tuned for the end of the video. So with all that out of the way, let's move on to 20 more useless FNAF facts. The first fact I'm going to list on here is actually a newer one. It's that Easter Bonnie's eyes actually used to be green. On the lures, they're blue, and just the overall design is blue, but for some reason when he was first put into the game, he had green eyes. They've been fixed now to what they're supposed to be. I don't know why this was a thing at first, but it is. His eyes were only green when he was charging at you and in the workshop, but outside of there, every time you see Easter Bonnie, he had blue eyes. I don't know why this was a thing, but it was, and it is a FNAF fact. That's a fact. The second FNAF fact I have for you guys is that Minarina can actually spawn in the control module in Sister Location. Yeah, if you didn't know, Sister Location is littered with Biddy Bab and Minarina Easter eggs. If you look at my previous video, I covered most of the Biddy Bab ones over there, and this one's going to cover most of the Minarina ones. These Easter eggs are really cool, and this is just one of them. I haven't seen this one, obviously. I haven't seen many of the Sister Location Easter eggs, but this one's probably one of my favorites that I've seen. And yeah, I think this is a pretty interesting fact overall. This next fact actually comes from FNAF World. I actually don't think I covered any FNAF World facts in my previous video, but there are actually quite a few. One very interesting one is about Nightmare Mangle. If you didn't know, there was an update 2 to the game, including all the FNAF 4 Halloween DLC characters. Every character like the Jackos, Nightmare Yon, Nightmare BB, they're all there, except for Nightmare Mangle. All the other Nightmare animatronics are there, I'm pretty sure, and so is every single FNAF character up to that point. Even the obscure ones like the Endoskeletons and Shadow Freddy and JJ, they're all there. It's only Nightmare Mangle. It's very interesting to know this because I actually don't know why, and I don't think Scott's ever commented on this either. One of the most interesting things about Nightmare Freddy is the Freddles that are on him. There's 3 little tiny Freddys that I guess live on Freddy. I don't know, like, you know, what the story is there, but it wasn't actually Scott who named Freddles Freddles. It was actually the community. Scott called them Mini Freddys, but I think Scott kind of liked the Freddles name, so he kind of adopted that name for them. It's really interesting. I think he confirmed this in a post on Reddit. I'm not sure. I remember seeing it somewhere. It's just really interesting how this happened. Again, I wasn't kidding when I said these are useless. This literally serves no purpose to your life whatsoever. But hey, I do think these are pretty interesting. As I think we're all aware, in the original FNAF 2 mode in FNAF VR, the Wizards weren't there. It was only the toy animatronics, and that was it. It was really surprising to see Withered Foxy there, only that wasn't Withered Foxy. That was actually only FNAF 1 Foxy. I actually didn't know that for like 6 months after the game launched until the Withered update came out. They did replace him eventually, but for a while it was only FNAF 1 Foxy there. I don't know why this was the case. Like, they should have just waited to add him when they finished modeling him. But hey, you know, they fixed it, it's fine, it doesn't really matter anymore. The FNAF 4 box is one of the longest going mysteries in all of FNAF, but a lot of people don't know is that it was actually originally going to be opened in the FNAF 4 Halloween update. For whatever reason it wasn't, and it hasn't been opened since. People just kind of forget it existed at this point. But I just find it really interesting that he ultimately decided not to, and hasn't brought it up since then. Since we were just talking about the box, I thought I'd go ahead and list the other fact I have for it, and that's that it was actually originally going to be opened in FNAF World. There's a texture in the files for an open FNAF 4 box. I'll put the picture up on screen. It's really interesting. I find it really interesting that this was cut yet again, and this was actually the last time we heard from it in the games. And to be perfectly honest, this could be the last time we ever hear from it, ever in general. Another pretty cool FNAF VR fact is that Minarina can actually appear in the Nightmare Balloon Boy minigame. It can appear in some of the doors sometimes. I've actually seen this one. It's a pretty interesting one, and it furthers the idea that FNAF 4 and Sister Location are connected. I mean, we already knew that through Sister Location's private room, but I guess this just kind of cements it even more. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. I know I covered most of the Biddy Bab Easter eggs in the last video, but there's actually one more I forgot to cover. Biddy Bab can spawn in the elevator and in your house when you get home to Sister Location, but there's one more place he can spawn. He can actually spawn in the circus control when the power goes out and he can appear behind the glass. Again, I didn't even know about this until I started doing research for this video. I love all these Sister Location Easter eggs that Scott's added in. I haven't even heard of most of them until just recently, but this one's pretty cool. A FNAF 2 fact not a lot of people know, or commonly misconstrue, is that Mangle's name is Toy Foxy. That's actually not the case. Mangle's name is actually Funtime Foxy. It would make sense if it was named Toy Foxy, because it's the toy version of Foxy, and we have Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, so it would just make sense. But in FNAF World, we got to see Mangle's complete form, and it was named Funtime Foxy. So yeah, canonically, there are two Funtime Foxies, one from Sister Location, and then the fixed version from FNAF 2. It's really strange how this is the case, and it isn't just called Toy Foxy, but Scott named it that, and that's just the way it is. You can call it Toy Foxy if you want to, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's just a fact. I think a lot of people know this, but there's actually a few FNAF 3 Easter eggs that I actually forgot to cover in the last video. One of them being is that the posters around the FNAF 3 location can sometimes change to a Spring Bonnie poster. It's very interesting. It's kind of like those rare screens from FNAF 1 when those crying children show up on the posters in the hallway, and also kind of like how the Freddy poster in Cam 1B, 2B, something like that, changes into Golden Freddy. It's really interesting how Springtrap has posters in FNAF 3 that's changed. I actually didn't know this until I read the Freddy files. There probably are more FNAF Easter eggs in FNAF 3, but I'll probably save those for part 3 if I do one. An interesting and very useless fact about Nightmare Mangle is that the eye from Mangle that's empty and Nightmare Mangle's eye that's empty are actually swapped. The regular Mangle is missing her left eye, and Nightmare Mangle is missing her right eye. Don't know why Scott did this, and it doesn't even matter, and you didn't need to know that, but I told you anyways, and now you know, so yeah. If you remember in part 1 of this video, I mentioned that Freddy and Bonnie took 1 day to model. Freddy actually took 2, I didn't do the research I probably should have. I was just going off memory on that one. But Freddy took 2 days, Bonnie took 1 day, and the Nightmares took 2 weeks each. But Springtrap actually took 1 week. That's very interesting, because I thought he would have taken at least twice as long as the Nightmare animatronics, but hey, what do you know? I think it's pretty interesting, and it shows that modeling the FNAF characters really doesn't take a long time. I think it's mostly the game design that's really the hard part of making a FNAF game. An interesting fact about Ultimate Custom Night, and actually the only Ultimate Custom Night fact on this list, is that Bonnie and Foxy were actually the last 2 characters to be programmed into the game. To think that JJ, Toy Freddy, Withered Chica, all the Nightmare characters, Jacko Chica, all these characters made it in before Bonnie and Foxy. It's really interesting how Scott chose to do those 2 last. I mean, I guess, yeah, it doesn't really matter, and it doesn't really even, you know, affect your knowledge in any way, but it is a useless fact. An interesting fact about Chocolate Bonnie is that he's actually the only FNAF character with 3 buttons. Every single other FNAF character with buttons only has 2. Orville has 2 buttons, Mr. Hippo, Toy Freddy, Withered Freddy, Phantom Freddy, Shadow Freddy, Funtime Freddy. They all have 2 buttons instead of 3. I don't know why this is the case, and it's not even important. It's just really strange how there's only 1 character with 3 buttons. Out of all the characters who have buttons, Chocolate Bonnie's the only one with 3. Bon Bon and Bonnet have 1, but there's never been a character with only 3 buttons. Chocolate Bonnie's the first one, and they're quite colorful buttons at that. An interesting fact about the control module, and another Sister Location fact, is that on night 5 when the Enid mask leaves, there's a chance that a Lolbit mask will spawn in its place. I've actually never seen this one. It's a pretty cool Easter egg, and it shows that Lolbit is canon in some way. I guess there really isn't a canon or not canon anymore. I don't even really care either. I just really like this Easter egg. It's a really cool one. It's one of my favorites, like the Endo one, and yeah, I think this is a really cool Easter egg. Do you remember a few facts ago when I said that that was going to be the only Ultimate Custom Night fact? Well, I lied. There's actually one more, and that's that Dee Dee's name in FNAF Ultimate Custom Night is actually XOR. I guess I should say Shadow Dee Dee, because normal Dee Dee is Dee Dee, but the shadow version of Dee Dee, the gray, depressed looking one, that one is named XOR. Scott confirmed this in the interview with Dawko. I don't know why he named it XOR. It's not Zor. It's not pronounced Zor. It's just XOR. Kind of like a Shadow Bonnie RWQFSFASXC situation where they pronounce it with just a string of letters. Again, Scott can do whatever he wants. It's just kind of weird. I know I've talked about FNAF VR, but I actually didn't talk about Curse of Dreadbear. This is the only Curse of Dreadbear fact on this list. And yes, I do mean that this time. If you didn't know, when you go to the win screen where you open your present, there's 3 posters that spawn behind you. If all 3 of these are a clown poster, and you put arrows on them, on all 3, you get a sign of "It's me," and it's very creepy. I've actually never seen 3 clown posters. MatPat thinks this is fake from Game Theory. I actually don't know if this is a true fact, but it's something that happened in the community. I guess something like that could be faked, but I don't really see why you would do that. Now, this is just getting into a whole debate about that, but let's just move on to the last 2 facts. The final sister location fact, I think, there might be more, but I'm pretty sure this is the final one of the sister location Easter eggs, and if you remember, Biddy Bab can spawn in your house at the end of each night, but so can Minarina. Minarina can spawn on the opposite side of Biddy Bab, which is very interesting how they follow you home. Again, nothing really to note here, it's just kind of creepy, especially with the lighting and everything. The final fact I have for you guys today is the FNAF anniversary teasers. If you remember on FNAF's anniversary, a few years ago, Scott was teasing FNAF 6. A lot of people say that the only 2 teasers we got was that teaser at the end of the Freddy Files and then the baby on FNAF World, but that's actually not true. In the anniversary teasers in the bottom left screen of Funtime Freddy, Circus Baby, and Springtrap, we actually got teasers of the designs of the FNAF 6 characters. I think this is pretty interesting and a lot of people overlook these. I actually didn't know about these until a year later when Scott released the other anniversary teaser, and I went back and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Alright, that was 20 FNAF facts you probably didn't know about FNAF. Even if you did know them, I think they're pretty interesting. Now that the video is over, I want to announce a few things. First of all, we'll start off with the giveaway winner. The winner of the 5,000 subscriber giveaway and Nightmare Bonnie plush is Evil Swag Bonnie Bear Gaming. Before this video is out, you probably already know, I just wanted to announce it. Also, Five Nights at JDNG, who won the 4,000 subscriber giveaway, I'm sorry, I haven't sent you your package. And same thing to you, Evil Swag, I'll just call you Evil Swag, because I can't send you your packages because of Corona, but don't worry, I'm working on it, you will get those soon. I also wanted to thank you guys so much for 1 million video views. I know every YouTuber says it, and you know, it's kind of cliche at this point, but I really am thankful for all of the support you guys give me. Making content for you guys is really fun, and I really hope you enjoy watching it. I love making it, and so thank you guys so much for just letting me make content for you guys that you all really enjoy. I also wanted to announce, I know I've hit 6,000 subscribers, but I'm not doing a 6,000 subscriber giveaway, and it's honestly just kind of simple. 2 reasons. 1, I'm out of stuff to give away, which is a problem, and 2, I honestly can't send out any packages right now because of Corona. So the giveaways past this point are going to be postponed for a little bit until everything gets kind of back on track with society and how it's supposed to move. Don't be disappointed that the giveaways are postponed, and don't be mad that you didn't win either. There will be future giveaways. I can't confirm when, but there will be some soon. The last thing I'm going to talk about right now is kind of weird. I don't really like talking about personal issues on my channel because personal issues are personal, and I feel like these videos need to be, you know, they're for you guys to watch, not for you guys to really get stressed out about YouTube drama and all that. I'm specifically talking about Pogo's Pizzeria. If you don't know who he is, he's another FNAF YouTuber that a lot of people know about. He's a pretty cool guy. There's been a lot of talk about him here recently and about the things he's done. And guys, all I have to say is this. We all make mistakes at one point in our lives, and what we need to learn is just to move on from those mistakes and try to improve as a person. We've all done terrible things, even I can admit to that. Even just a few hours ago, we've all done terrible things. But now that I understand everything from a full point of view, I understand all the facts, I have every information that I didn't really have before, I can say that I don't think Pogo's Pizzeria really needs to get as much hate as he's getting. As of now, me and Pogo are friends, even stuff that you've seen, maybe you've heard some stuff from me or Pogo saying that we don't like each other. just as of a few minutes ago, we do, and we are still friends. I just want to clear that up because I feel like a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions for me, and I'm just here to say that I really don't want to talk about this again. This is probably the only time I'm ever going to talk about drama on this channel because I'm not really a fan of it, just adding more fuel to the fire. I said it once and I said it again. Me and Puggo have no beef right now. We're cool right now. We have no problems with each other. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this last few minutes was just kind of me rambling about a few things, but I think it was very important to address. And I think there's a very valuable lesson to this. Don't ever judge people until you have all the facts of the situation. I misjudged Puggo a few hours ago. I'm not saying the things he's done is okay, but if he feels like he can do better and he's going to improve, I think we should give him a chance. So thanks again so much, guys, for watching. Thanks again for 1 million video views. You guys really do mean a lot to me. I really hope you guys know that. And I know sometimes I feel like I don't really sound like I appreciate it that much, but I swear to you guys I do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.